Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. Some of the weirdest news I've probably ever seen in my entire time playing War Thunder, which at this point is probably like 12 years, has just dropped. And I really don't know whether to make heads or tails of it. I mean, I do have an opinion on this, don't get me wrong. However, I won't tell you my opinion quite yet because I don't want to bias you guys. Now, that said, I'm just going to read this verbatim. It's not a very short or very long devlog, rather. I'll read it verbatim because of how weird this is. So it says, "We've got some news to share with you. From now on, we'll be using a brand new event cycle where events will start almost consecutively and will, wherever possible, be tied to real life events." So right there, it kind of just tells you, okay, we're going to have brand new events and they are going to be pretty much eternal. So we'll just have one event after the other rather than an event every few months. So it says, in addition to this, each event, except the winter event and some cosmetic only events, will only have one vehicle dedicated to them. Every event will last on average 12 to 18 days, where when it finishes, there will be a small pause of a few days until the next event begins. So basically they're saying, okay, let's just say if you're going to have an 18-day event, you have 18 days, and they say a small pause, so they don't really tell you exactly how long, but let's just assume it's 4 or 6 days, and then you have another 18-day event. It says, the first event in this new cycle is due to start very soon. Keep an eye out for all the details surrounding this on January 25th. As I record this, it's January 23rd, so we will know by Thursday what this new event is and kind of how these work exactly. But they do clue us in the dev block. It says, since each event will only have one vehicle, today we're announcing the first 3. The first event will have a tank as the main reward. They capitalized tank for whatever reason. The event after will have an aircraft as the main reward, and the event after a naval vessel, where events will follow this general cycle throughout the year. So basically every 12 to 18 days, they're making it sound like you'll be able to get a one-time only vehicle if you play the game enough. That's kind of what it sounds like. And I'm wondering, are there going to be premium vehicles? Probably not. At least hopefully some of them will be. And I'm wondering if these vehicles are vehicles maybe from previous events, which would be pretty cool in that case. But if these are like, hey, if you don't play it during this 12-day period or this 18-day period, you're never going to be able to get this vehicle again. Or you can buy it on the marketplace for an exorbitant price. Yeah. So this is a very interesting thing. And again, let me know your opinion in the comments below. It says, each event will be mission points based to earn tasks, where the amount of mission points required to obtain each task depends on the vehicle's rank. The required amount will range from 35,000 to 45,000 mission points for each task, usually 2 days. So that's pretty damn crazy. So they're basically making this on average, let's just say 40,000 mission points. So basically they're making this a continual event. A continuous event where you will have to earn more or less 40,000 mission points every 2 days with only a 4 or 6, however many day break in between. They're making it sound like a very small break in between, and you're only going to get one vehicle at a time. Now, I'm wondering, and I'll read through this in just a second. I'm wondering, let's say if there's a tank vehicle, a tank as the main reward, will I be able to play aircraft as well? Will it be kind of like how modern events are? Like, if you guys don't know, like, they'll have something like the Battle of Hurtgen Forest or North African campaign or whatever, where they have like a whole bunch of different battles and you can only play certain vehicles. So like you might be able to play a Stuka, Panzer IV, G or something, and all these vehicles will get you those points. Or will it just be, hey, play and you get this many points throughout all the game modes? So air, ground, naval, and then you can get like the ground reward. I'm not really entirely sure, and I hope it's just an open format where not everybody is going to be forced to play like rank 5 ground. That would suck. But if it's just general playing, that would be okay, I guess. I mean, it's not that bad. But it says if each event will only have one vehicle, will there be ground, air, and naval vehicle rewards in the future? And it says yes, obviously, we already know that. Now it says, with this format, does that mean there will always be events throughout the year? Yes. However, it depends on the month and when the event finishes or starts, but generally there will be 2 or 3 days of no events until the next event starts. So actually, I was overestimating it. They're saying 2 or 3 days. That's just ridiculous. It says the longest current gap planned is almost 1 month in the summer until the next one starts. So pretty much they're going to say 2 or 3 days of no events generally. However, there will be one period throughout the year where it's a month of no events, which, by the way, it almost sounds like they're getting rid of the summer event, which I personally really like that, along with the winter event, but they're keeping the winter event, oddly enough. So it says, why have you chosen this format? It says, based on player feedback, we want to provide players with ways to obtain all vehicles and events rather than only a select few. With consecutive events, players will be able to obtain vehicles types that they want and miss vehicles that they don't want. Why would you want to miss vehicles? You'd always want to get vehicles, right? Like, why? You know, the reason why people don't grind out naval vehicles is because, for example, it's just something that they're already grinding out air and ground. Why would somebody just purposely miss a naval vehicle? It's just a prioritization thing. It's not that they don't want it. They just don't prioritize it because they don't have all the time in the world. It says, does this mean there's no more crafting events? Answer, yes, crafting events in their previous format will no longer be a thing in War Thunder. Or they could just say will no longer exist in War Thunder, but I guess be a thing is the PR way to say it if you're talking to young people. Now it says, will the types of vehicle rewards change compared to how old events work? Each event will only be dedicated to one vehicle with the exception of the winter event. Again, it sounds like they're keeping the winter event and that's the only event. Otherwise, they're getting rid of everything else, summer event, crafting events, and I wonder if they're going to keep the April Fool's event. I mean, I would hope so. Not that the April Fool's event would normally give you a vehicle, but you get the idea. It says the type of vehicle in each event will be a mix of high, medium, and low tiers, where the required number of mission points, tasks, and stage purchase points, and stage purchase cost will vary in each event depending on the vehicle's rank. So I'm assuming this basically means, because in how, let's say, the winter event currently exists, you have to pay 999 Golden Eagles to purchase a stage. Does this mean that it's going to be like 499 Golden Eagles, 599, 699, whatever, between each stage so that you can purchase a vehicle if you don't play it enough? I certainly hope not. And then finally it says, will events tied to real life events have related cosmetics? A, yes, wherever possible. So yeah, this is going to be pretty damn crazy. I want to know your opinions in the comments below. There are a lot of people who are pissed off with this, and I think the general consensus here goes with this guy. It says, if you are really going to go through with this, please consider lowering the mission score points to 10 to 20,000 per task. Make it a fun activity in your game instead of the toxic grind that every match during mission score events is. So I totally agree. You know, I mean, having it where it's just a constant 35 to 45,000 mission points pretty much constantly throughout the year, with the exception of like a 1 month break during summer. That's just, I mean, the grind is now eternal. The grind is now completely insane. I don't think I could have ever thought anything up like this in my wildest and worst dreams. This is just a lot. You know, and again, it'd be one thing if it's like, okay, just get 40,000 points while playing ground, naval, and air throughout whatever. That'd be a little bit better, right? I'd say maybe 30,000 or 25,000 points, but whatever, right? If it was just throughout the entire time that you play, that's one thing. But in order to basically force you to play air in order to get the air reward, or ground to get the ground reward, or naval to get the naval reward, that really would suck. But we'll have to wait and see, and we will learn on the 25th. But that being said, thanks so much for watching. If you don't mind, please let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Again, this is probably the weirdest news I've seen in a very long time for War Thunder. But either way, thanks again. I'll see you all on the other side. Oh, and if you don't mind, please consider subscribing. Take care, everyone.